CNC podcasts are a service of CNC News, brought to you by the Greece Chamber of Commerce, providing more than 800 member companies with business solutions since 1984. A two-alarm fire hit an apartment building at the corner of Scio Street and University Avenue Wednesday morning. Smoke and fire could be seen coming from a third-floor window of the brick building shortly after 7 a.m. One person was transported to the hospital. No word yet on the injury. As this is being recorded, they're still fighting it. Route 96 was closed in Ontario County Wednesday morning between Route 14 and County Road 6 because of a serious crash. The Ontario County Sheriff's Office says it was a four-car pileup in Phelps near Thruway Exit 42. Several people are injured, and that's all that's come in again as of this recording. Rochester's last City Council meeting of the year opened with an unusual public apology to the Edison Tech basketball team.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation.
The team led the Pledge of Allegiance at Tuesday night's City Council meeting at the invitation of Councilman Adam McFadden, who then took the unusual step of issuing a public apology to three team members who were arrested last month while waiting for a bus on Main Street.
I brought these young men here because they're young men, same complexion I am, who experienced something I experienced when I was 17 in this city. The only difference is there was no media that covered what happened to me.
The team and their coach were waiting downtown for a bus to take them to a scrimmage. The arresting officer said the three teens had refused his orders to move along and were blocking the sidewalk in front of a store. Last week, a judge formally dropped the charges on the district attorney's recommendation. There were applause and cheers at City Hall last night, as one by one, three of the city's top people who've made Rochester work over the years were congratulated on their retirement. Police Chief James Shepard.
I anticipate that the police department will continue to be great. It was great before I came. It was great during my tenure. It'll be great after I leave. But again, it's been a great honor, and thank you very much for the opportunity.
Fire Chief Sam Matrano.
To the men and women of the Rochester Fire Department, thank you for all you have done for me and this community. You will always be in my heart. Be safe out there. I love you all.
And Mayor Tom Richards himself.
I've been at these ceremonies with these proclamations and keys to the city for a very long time. I've done I don't know how many of them. And I sat there after I finished the presentation and said to myself, boy, I hope this person isn't going to say anything. So what I'll do is just say thank you very much, and I won't say anything. You're welcome.
A couple of others are retiring who carried out key roles behind the scenes. They include City Attorney Jeff Eichner and Assistant to the Mayor Darrell Porter. All five of these men are retiring by the end of the year as the city goes through its transition from the years of Mayors Duffy and Richards to the administration of Mayor Lovely Warren. Also Tuesday night, City Council voted unanimously to appoint Monroe County legislator Mike Patterson to the council seat left vacant when Lovely Warren was elected mayor. Patterson was sworn in by his son immediately after the meeting. He'll serve through 2014. A special election will be held in November to fill the rest of the term. A Monroe County court jury has convicted Jarrell Henry of first-degree murder in the slaying of RIT Professor Edlene Chun. Chun was murdered February 3rd by Henry and accomplice Natalie Johnson. They entered her home, robbed her, then shot her in the head. Her body was found 3 days later in Tryon Park. Prosecutor Perry Duckles says Henry had just gotten out of parole the day of the crime. He was actually wearing an electronic monitoring bracelet, which led authorities to place him at Chun's house and the location where her body was found. His accomplice, Natalie Johnson, by the way, has already been convicted. Rochester police believe this video they think was shot on Rochester's west side shows an actual assault, not a staged event, and they are investigating it as such. Police Chief James Shepard asked for the victim to come forward or for anyone who recognizes him to call the department. This video was posted to YouTube and to a Facebook page, and police aren't saying if they've interviewed the person whose name is on the posting. They also won't say if it's related to the talk of a national string of such attacks. It's being called the knockdown game. The man accused of causing the crash that killed an Eastman School of Music professor was arraigned in his hospital bed on Tuesday. Thomas Rome of Kirkwood in Broome County was charged with second-degree vehicular manslaughter, driving the wrong way on a controlled highway, reckless driving, and driving drunk. He was ordered held in lieu of $100,000 bond, although he remains at Strong Hospital following the crash. Tatiana Chekina of Rochester was killed and her husband injured when Rome's car crashed head-on into their SUV on 490 in Gates. The owners of the Marketplace Mall in Henrietta have been granted a tax abatement deal for their proposed $30 million redevelopment. The County of Monroe Industrial Development Agency, COMIDA, was unanimous in approving the tax deal for Wilmerite, which plans to modernize the existing mall, which dates from the early 80s, and also build a new wing on the site of the current Bonton and DSW store buildings. The request for a 25-year property and sales tax reduction deal drew criticism from the Rush Henrietta School District, but Dennis Wilmot of Wilmerite told the Comida board it's critical to revitalizing Henrietta's retail corridor. The next CNC News podcast is whenever you click on one of our pages and hear it. Updates are recorded as necessary. I'm Bud Lowell, CNC News.